Hello everybody and welcome back to Creativity Time with Tatiana. I am Tatiana, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the Port Macquarie area. Welcome to my live video. I love sharing how I make my cards. So I'm a paper crafter, mainly a card maker, and I love to share with the world how I make those cards to inspire others to make some cards and perhaps even send some cards. When you jump on, please say hello and welcome. I'm really excited to be here. I love crafting, my Wednesday crafting session. Hello Sherry, thank you for joining me. Hello Tam, I hope the packing and the moving stuff is going well. I've done it too many times, so I know exactly what it's like. I'm going to be using the Leave a Little Sparkle stamp set, which is the unicorn one, which I've been featuring this week, and I've got a nice little layout for us. Let's flip the camera and get crafting. There's no need for chit chatter this morning. Okay. Great, welcome. So here is the Leave a Little Sparkle stamp set. It is very girly, very unicorny, but beautiful. I think big girls and little girls would love it. I do, and my daughter does. So there's my research. N equals 2. But oh, it's a wonderful set. I have some paper prepared. I am using a sketch challenge from the Global Design Project. I just drew it out. So that's basically the sketch that they have up, and it's a challenge, and I thought this set would be fun. So let's go through with what I have here. I'm starting with a balmy blue base. Let's fold that, and the card I will keep that. The sketch challenge has the landscape view, and I thought we will do that as well. Though you could always do the opposite, but this one works. I'm going to have the unicorn kind of sitting there, so the landscape really works with that. I have a piece of DSP here, which I've pre-cut, and that is from the Perennial Essence Designer Series paper. It's kind of got that Monet watercolor, or not watercolor, but Monet paint look. This is the side that I plan on using, though it has beautiful designs, and that is ready to glue down. So let's glue it down. I'm using my favorite glue, the liquid multi-purpose glue, because it allows me to shimmer and move it around a little bit before adhering to the base. So I've cut this 5mm smaller than the card base. That's at 100mm by 143.5. I am a very specific metric person. Okay, so we've glued that down, and now I have also got a piece of Blackberry Bliss. So when you get your designer series paper, you can see which colors coordinate with this paper. It's Balmy Blue, Blackberry Bliss, Blueberry Bushel, Calypso Coral, Crushed Curry, Flirty Flamingo, Mossy Meadow, Old Olive, Petal Pink, So Saffron, and Whisper White. So I've picked my colors around my DSP. I picked the Balmy Blue for the card base, and now I'm picking the Blackberry Bliss for that. And I want to add the lace to the bottom. I've cut the lace. This is the very vanilla lace from the Bird Ballad suite. And I've cut it just a bit longer so that I have plenty of room to stretch it. Now, the lace, because of its nature, just kind of curves, as you can see. So I'm going to be using the tear and tape on the back of our cardstock. Good morning, Joan. So good to see you live. Well, I don't get to see you. So good of you to join me live. I hope you're well. There we go. Out of that. And then I like to use the pointy end of the Take Your Pick tool, which I keep out separate, to be honest. Okay, and now we're going to place the lace, and I don't want all of the lace showing. I just kind of want that scallop end. I'm just placing it down. And when I flip, we can see it's just showing. I actually think I would like a little bit more showing than that. So what's good about this Tear and Tape is that yes, it is quite sticky, but it does allow me to pick up and move things without worrying. Let's see, perfect. It's exactly what I want it to look like. And I'm just going to trim off the ends here. Tell me, has anyone been crafting lately, and what have they been crafting? Let's start a conversation. Oh, it's so pretty. I want to cry. It's so pretty. Whew. Oh. I'm not going to glue that down, but the other bits I have here are a mossy meadow, and I've pre-cut that in that scallop die using the layering, and then I use the stitched one, and that's in Whisper White, though I'm starting, yeah, that'll do. And maybe I should have done Very Vanilla. Anyway, this is a piece of shimmery white. Not sure if the shimmer's showing through, but it is a little bit shimmery, and it is one of my favorite papers for watercoloring. So we're going to watercolor this lovely unicorn, and because we'll be using watercoloring water, we will need to ink the image up in the Stays On ink, which is this one, because it will not bleed when I add the water. So ink up the stamp down the unicorn. Perfect. How beautiful is that? Now, using the Stays On ink, it's important to put that protection back on and the lid, and you do need the Stays On remover. I like to try to put that onto my stamp as soon as I'm done stamping, just to make sure I don't. The Stays On ink is a permanent ink, so that's why we have the special cleaner for it, because you don't want that to stay on. And then I do like using the Stampin' Scrub to give that a good clean, but I'll put that to the side. And I haven't decided on the colours that I want for the unicorn, but I thought we're going to do something interesting. I haven't bought the ink refill. This is a new product in our line, from the Stamping Up line. It's in the holiday catalogue, and it's called the Delicata. And this particular, it's a pigment ink, and this particular one is called Silvery Shimmer. And I thought we could mix our inks into it, so create shimmer of different colours. So I'm just pressing that onto, and throwing it onto myself, pressing that onto the block there. And we're going to start watercolouring. I definitely am feeling some balmy blue is needed. So let's start with the balmy blue. I'm going to do the same. So I'm using the big block as my palette, and I'm now going to press the balmy blue into the corner there. You can also use the ink refills if you want, if you have them on hand. This is the Aqua Painter. That's the big tipped Aqua Painter. I get sold in sets of 2, and if you can see that without the shadows, that there's a larger tip and a smaller one, and I'm going to start with the large one today. We'll paint the body, so I'm just squeezing it to get a drop or 2 of water. Now I'm going to bring in the shimmer and the balmy blue and mix it together. I can even see it. Is that showing up? That, to me, that's already shimmery paint or ink. I'm not sure if that shows up, but when I tilt it that way, I'm pretty sure you can see that it has become quite shimmery. And so watercoloring is a very free-flowing kind of activity. There's no right or wrong answer. Remember, we're doing this for fun, for joy, to brighten someone's day. Nobody's going to look at your end product and criticize you how you have done it. The point is that you have colored it in yourself. So I'm trying to keep it within the lines, but so that's, I like to, when I watercolor, I like to do a first kind of good solid base, and then I bring in more ink, no more water, I bring in more ink of the same color to make a darker shade, and then I go in and add the shading. So that hind leg would be darker, as would this one. There'd be some shading going around here. This stamp kind of has some indicators of where the shading could be with those hashed lines. So you can follow them as well. So, and as you can see, as it spreads, it kind of dries as well, and the hair would cause some shading as well. There. Doesn't have to be perfect. It is your card, your unicorn. You color it however you like. Let's bring that up. And that is, it's probably hard to see on the camera, but it is more shimmery than if I was to use the plain ink. So I'm very pleased with that. I'm going to use my brush, give it a bit of a squeeze and wipe down on the chamois. And I'm thinking Blackberry Bliss, since that's what paper we have out. So I'm going to, again, grab the Blackberry Bliss ink pad and do the same there. And I'm going to do the hair in Blackberry Bliss. I want to dilute this quite a bit, so I'm going to drop quite a bit of water down. And let's grab that lovely silvery, what was it called again? Silvery shimmer ink into it. Want that hair to really shine. So I've never mixed this ink. I've only had it for a few weeks, but this is something I haven't done before. I want the, is it the hoofs? To blend in with the hair. Could have perhaps swapped to the smaller brush, but I often forget to do that. If you're just joining live, thank you for joining me. Please do say hi. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I love showing people how to use their products, and my goal is to inspire people to do something creative. Now I make cards because that's a quick, simple thing, because you could cheer someone else's day up. And what I love about the card making is that you can finish a project from start to finish. Well, you could take hours if you wanted to, very elaborate projects, but the point is that it doesn't have to take hours, and that giving someone your finished project also can bring some joy. So now again, I'm going to bring in some darker ink, or darken up the ink, and add some, just randomly adding darker bits into the mane and tail of this beautiful unicorn. It spreads out because it's all still wet, and let's do that horn in that same. Oh, so pretty, so beautiful, and fairly easy. You can use any medium you would like to color this unicorn in. You could use watercoloring like we've just done. You could use the watercolor pencils. You can just use the pencils. You could, what else? The stamping blends are another option, and the Stampin' Right markers as well. Now we're going to fussy cut this lovely unicorn out. So I pick a side, starting point, and I just start. The key thing with fussy cutting is that you the paper. So you can see I'm rotating the paper with my hand, not rotating the scissors. The scissors have stayed in that general direction, and I have rotated. Sometimes what I do is I cut off a bit like that, and that allows me to get in that area much easily. There is an art to fussy cutting. It's not for everybody, I understand. But I like it. I find it therapeutic, just as colouring. And trying to keep close to the edge. If you wanted, you could cut on the stamped line. There's nothing wrong with that. I just prefer cutting with a bit of a white edge, because otherwise I could miss some of the lines, and the horn is very small and delicate. I didn't want to be cutting onto the line. That'll make it even more thinner and more delicate. There we go. And again, I'm going to snip that off. Now I am trimming around those hairs, not cutting into all of them. It does take a bit of concentration to do this. Let me know, do you like fussy cutting? Have you ever tried fussy cutting? If you haven't, what stops you from trying? Almost done. Almost there. Sometimes I pick the hardest bit to start off with first. Today I should have done that. It's okay. There we go. Home stretch. Now when I'm making cards, I try not to, occasionally I'll do the rainbow card like I had on my blog yesterday, but I try to stick to 2 or 3 basic colours, so I don't want to overwhelm the viewer. So I've picked colours within the DSP to bring that out, and it's less overwhelming. The idea is that our unicorn will go there. And let's pick a sentiment. Leave a little sparkle, believe, make your dreams. I think I'll leave a little sparkle. Leave a little sparkle. Isn't that nice? Leave a little sparkle wherever you go. And we're going to stamp that in the Blackberry Bliss. Not centering it, I'm putting it off to the side as so. The stamp clean straight away. Do that so that I don't accidentally press my hand or anything into it. Okay, it's going to, well, firstly I can do that. I'll add the glue there. Sentiment there, because I know that's exactly how I want it. Now that's picking up on the tear and tape from earlier. I'm happy with that. Okay, so let's assemble. I'm still adding the glue because there's not much tear and tape there. Hello Christy, how are you? Hope you're well. Thank you for joining me. Now I'm going to add that with the glue again. Making sure our sentiment is nice and positioned, and going with the unicorn there. It's just that tip of the tail that's not going to be. I'm going to use dimensionals to add the unicorn. So I know I don't need any dimensionals on that little tip. Otherwise, we're good to go. Where are those minis? Love the two sizes. I still get excited about it. It's been over a year since we've had this, but love it. Love that I don't have to chop that dimensional in half. The children driving you insane. I'm sorry for laughing, but I really, truly understand that one. My kids had an argument about unloading the dishwasher yesterday. Love those days, don't you? Oh, Christy, I wish I could say it gets easier, but the fights and the things that they drive you insane just change. They still drive you insane. But we still love them. We still love them to bits. And I guess that's the key thing. It is hard. This parenting gig is hard. I had no idea how hard it would be. I thought it was all going to be unicorns and rainbows and sparkle. Not so much. I hear the mailman. That's exciting. I think that must be my Stampin' Up order. I'm going to lift that up. Let's see. Can I peel that up? I wonder if I moved it across a bit. No, it's staying there. It is staying there. It's okay. So we're going to flip. So when I'm trimming this, I find trimming it from the other side a lot easier, because you can see where the line is. So there we go. We've trimmed that. I probably could have put the sentiment a bit lower down. That's okay. And because it says sparkle, we're going to add some sparkle. Let's see. I think I'm going to stick to these are the basic rhinestones. And we're going to add some to our card, because what is a sentiment talking about sparkle without the sparkle? Let's see. Ooh, one down here would be lovely. Ooh, come on. You know you want to. There we go. There. And we haven't finished until we have decorated the inside and the envelope. So there's my inside slip of paper. And there's my envelope. What shall we do? Firstly, didn't have any grid paper. Well, I do have plenty of grid paper, but I didn't put any down. So I'm going to add the unicorn to the corner of the envelope. Oh. Just going to ink that a little bit up. there's our envelope. A hint of what will be on the inside. And let's see, for this, so for those joining later, I was using I'm going to enter this card into the Global Design Project Sketch Challenge. So there's the original sketch, and here is my creation. And now let's see. Normally I prefer stamping on the inside of the card on the right hand side, but this unicorn is it faces in, so I'm going to step out of my comfort zone. Yes, this is a beautiful stamp set. It'll be perfect for your nieces, Christy. I love it. Love, love, love it. I'm going to give that a rub like I was saying before because it stays on ink. Don't want that ink to be staying on my stamp. I want to make sure I do clean it off. And I'll give that a rub-a-dub-dub. And let's attach that to the inside of our card, and there we go. There is the card. If you enjoyed watching that, I would love your support. So if you're not a demonstrator and you don't have a demonstrator in Australia, I would love to be your demonstrator. I'd love to support you in your creative adventure and help you with your creative needs. So there was that. There's the stamp set in full and our lovely card. Just some details about me. And I have a customer loyalty program, which for every $50 you spend, you get a sticker. Collect 10 stickers and get $50 worth of products for free from me. You can shop online 24/7 at bit.ly/shop with Tatiana. And if you use the September host code, which is XSDFPRFE, you get free black Stampin' Dimensionals. Those are dimensionals. I need to talk to myself as I write. So mine are probably by the front door, and they are these. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Bye for now.